Hello children. So let us continue with our next topic, that is Archimedes principle. We are going to understand today with the help of a simple activity. If we take two glass jars like that made on the board A and B, one is filled with air, the another with water. Okay. Now I took one elastic string, a broken elastic I can take, and fitted it with a stone, tied it with a stone like this, and I hold it. So you can see how long it got stretched, the elastic, because of the weight of this stone. Now, the same thing if I insert into this water. Same elastic stream if I enter into the water in this second beaker. What will happen? What will happen that we can understand through this figure. You can see the stone in the first case was much deeper in the beaker and this elastic was much elongated. But when water was there in the beaker, what happened? Slowly the length of the length of the elastic was reduced. Okay, and slow by slow the length of the elastic got much reduced and the stone came up. Why this must be happening? This you must have understood, I think, till now. Yesterday only we have seen the buoyant force is acting on the stone and pushing it upwards because of the buoyant force of the water, of the liquid, and that's why the length of the elastic is getting reduced. So if you consider, when the stone is sunk in water, a buoyant force acts on it and in the upward direction it is being pushed. The stone is acting downward and the buoyant force is pushing it upward. Now here the force which acts on it in downward direction can be easily reduced in B case when the buoyant force is opposing the direction of the stone. So how much is the magnitude of the buoyant force? That we need to understand. Is it the same for all the liquids? Now we have taken water. In oil or any other salt solution, if we take, will it be the same? Is the buoyant force of equal magnitude for all the objects? Then actually these are the questions that may be arising in your minds. So the answer to these questions are embodied in the Archimedes principle. Archimedes was a great scientist. On this name, this principle is being named. This principle stated that, what is Archimedes principle? Just note down. When an object is partially, when an object is partially, means partly, partially or fully immersed. Immersed in a liquid in any liquid, you can say, a force of buoyancy acts on it in the upward direction. A force of buoyancy is acting on it in upward direction. And this force is equal to the weight of the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. This means the buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. Now, we all know that if we take some water in a bowl and add some stones in it, like the crow story you all have heard since childhood, since nursery, you all have studied the crow story. He was searching water and there was very little water in one of the pot he found. But how to drink water? He added stones to the pot and the water rose up. We all have studied this story since our childhood. Here also, you can understand the force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the object. We have seen that when the crow added stones, the water rose up and the crow could drink that water. We all know this story. But water rising up is what? Water is displacing. Water is rising up. If we take a pot like this, any simple bowl, and fill it with water till the brim, and if I add a stone, what will happen? Some of the water will spill out. It will fall out. So how much water is going to get displaced by the object? Equal to the weight of this object. Equal to the weight of the fluid displaced, the force will be. Okay. So the force is equal to the fluid displaced by the object. Now, this principle, how could the great scientist Archimedes find out? You must have heard stories of Archimedes, but I just want to tell you one more time. You see, Archimedes, he was a Greek scientist and also a mathematician. He was very sharp and intelligent. He found out the value of pi also, that pi which we are using in our mathematical calculation. We all know that pi is equal to 22/7 or 3.14, isn't it? His knowledge of levers, pulley, wheel in physics was useful in the Greek army in fighting against the Roman enemy. Now, he became famous. Why? Now, his other inventions are also useful, but how and why he was famous so much? Because his work and mechanics, what he was involved in. Actually, what happened when he entered a bathtub in Europe and all, they use a bathtub to take a bath. He discovered the above principle that we now know as Archimedes principle by observing the overflowing water. what has happened? The water tub must have been filled till the brim with water, and when he entered into the tub for taking a bath, water spilled out, overflow. This is a common process. We all have also experienced it, but we never thought that this could also be a principle. He came out in the same state as he was bathing and started shouting, Eureka, Eureka. That means I found it, I found it. And that is the principle which Archimedes found. Here, what is this principle going to tell? That the force is equal to the fluid displaced by the object. Which one force? The upward force that is acting on any object which is entering the liquid body. Okay, and this principle of Archimedes is now very widely known and has been used in construction of ships and submarines. If we want to float the submarine above, then in the tanks beside the submarine, all the water is pushed up. But if we want to float the submarine in between the ocean water, some of the half-filled tanks they are using. And if they want the submarine to go to the ocean floor, they are filling those tanks completely with water. So you can understand, as the weight, with the weight, they can decide where to move the submarine in the ocean water and get themselves hidden in the oceanic water. The instruments other which are also following Archimedes' principle are lactometer. Lactometer is used to measure the amount of water present in milk. Hygrometer, and these are the other instruments where again Archimedes' principle is being used. Now you see density of any substance and what is the relative density related to it. We all have studied that density is equal to mass of anything divided by the volume it is covering. The area it is covering, the volume. Density is equal to mass by volume. Now the SI unit of density is kg per meter cube, because volume is having the unit meter cube. The property density is very useful in deciding the purity of any substance. Now, the relative density of a substance is expressed with respect to the density of water. We are going to compare density of any other substance like iron, magnesium, wood, any other substance with relation to water. That is the relative density. So, relative density, how it is find out? For relative density, we are taking up the formula that is density of any substance that we are considering divided by density of water. So these are the two formulas related to density and relative density. This being a ratio of two equal physical quantities, it has no unit. Now, here also density unit will be kg per meter cube, and here also density of water will be calculated in kg per meter cube. But when they are dividing each other, they get stuck, and therefore relative density is never going to have any unit. That you have to remember always. Otherwise, your answer will be wrong. Relative density of a substance is called as specific gravity also. Now, certain problems related to this chapter we can try to solve so that you understand these formulas and how to solve them in a deeper sense. So the first problem that we are going to cover today is what is given. First example, you see the area of the bottom of a tiffin box is 0.25 meter square. We are writing areas in meter square. And what else is given? Weight of the box is 50 Newton. So these are the things given. What we have to find out is calculate the pressure exerted on the shelf where the tiffin box is kept. We have to find out the pressure. So we all have studied that pressure is equal to force upon area. This formula we have studied when we revise pressure also. In that case, you can see what all things are given. First, you have to make a list of all the given things. What is given? The area of the tiffin, that is 0.25 meters square. And what next is given? What more is given to you is the weight. Weight is the force that the box is having. That is 50 Newton. Now the same values, when we put in the formula, what are we going to get? Force is 50 Newton. That is the weight of the tiffin box, and area of the box is 0.25 meters square. And when we calculate it, for easy calculation, one way is multiplying both numerator and denominator by 100. You are going to get, so that we can remove this point, isn't it? 50 and 2 zeros added, and I've removed this point from 0.25 to 25. In that case, I will get the answer 25. 200 times is 5,000, and the unit will be Newton per meter square, or PA, that is Pascal. Pressure unit is Pascal. Actually, it is Newton for force and meter square for area. Newton per meter square or Pascal is the unit of pressure. So the pressure we have calculated, the tiffin box is exerting on the shelf is 200 Newton per meter square or Pascal. So this is one of the problem we have solved. Next class we shall solve more problems like this related to this chapter and topics that we have covered. So see you in the next class. Bye all of you. Thank you.